Hey YouTube world, it's Marvel Legend 1000 coming to you with another Marvel Legends video review. And this is a little special treat for y'all. This is actually I'm actually going to do this review on the Marvel Legends Series A Ultimate Captain America. And this one just so happens to be a custom Captain America, as you can tell by the hands and the boots here, that I decided to do. When I got the figure, I paid probably about what anybody standardly would pay for the Ultimate Captain America. But when I got it from the guy, now it looked like somebody had already did some sort of almost like a Sharpie colored over the brown, which looked actually kind of cool and stayed on really nice. But it was just on this hand, the boots, and that hand was actually still the brown glove. And I was like, oh man, because you really couldn't tell that from the pictures. But it wasn't that big of a deal. So at first, I was like, I could leave it, or first I was kind of disappointed, but then I was like, well, I'm gonna turn this into a positive. I'm gonna customize it myself. So I went over with a paint marker. First with a white. Well, first I did with a black kind of a color, black like Sharpie, and then I went over the white, over the black with a white paint marker. And then I went over the white with the red paint marker, which actually came out really nicely. So in the process here, you can still see some of the original black shine through and gives a little distinct blackness in the glove. So in all in all, it actually turned out pretty well. Only bad thing about this paint is that that this paint seems to want to scratch off. Kinda, so like when I pull the shield off or anything, you can see it kind of coming off his glove. So I'm gonna try to figure out a different type of paint to do it with. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. It actually came out pretty nicely. I don't know if, I'm not a professional at this. I used to do some customizing on my on these morphers I used to do on my other channel, on my other hit channel or whatever. So I used to do some customizing on them, but never on a Marvel Legends figure. I would do some paint touch-ups here and there on some figures, but never to, the whole glove and whole boots. So I think it turned out pretty well. I just need to probably, after a while, because I know, I can keep touching up the paint, but, after a while, it's going to be kind of hard to do it with. So I'm thinking about just maybe, at some point in time, going to like a not really a toy store, but more like a toy, like a collector store. I know where I buy my usual paint and just do some of that on it. Usually I know about any paint that's not the original and you put on there, it's gonna come off slightly. So I'm not, really worried about that, but I don't want to have to keep doing it all the time. So I'm gonna try to find something a little bit more permanent. Anyways, from the figure. This is the Ultimate Captain America. This is after, like he was kind of posting more in the, I guess in the Avengers with his new costume. And the original did have brown gloves, whereas I didn't really like the brown gloves. I think Cap should always have the red boots, red gloves. So like I said, that's why I decided to kind of paint it to make it look better. But as you can see here, detailing is great on this guy. Get you a good shot of the face here. Turn the light off. Here's your, well, can't tell if you can tell really good. Oh, get him in. There's your face. It's an alright sculpt. Well, got a little red paint on it, looks like. Oh, now you don't want to scratch off. It ain't that bad. Looks kind of cool. Looks alright. You can't tell. But he's a really good looking figure. He's got you can see the shoulder stars. He doesn't have this Ultimate Captain America, actually you can see his ears, and he doesn't have the wings. So, that's a little bit different from the original Captain America. That's like really kind of the big difference between this one and if you have the face-off figure. Just more or less the way the gloves and boots are made, and then that is the ears and the head sculpt's really the only difference between that Captain America. I don't know. I don't think that other one had the stars on the side, but I may be wrong. Anyways, so articulation-wise, His neck can move up and down. His head can 360, ball joint arms, bicep swivel, double joint elbows, turn top of the glove, 360 top of the glove, wrist articulation. I think actually each each individual finger moves on the Captain America, so you can open and close hand depending on which finger you want to do. Except for the thumb doesn't move, but every other finger moves. You got the ab crunch feature. You have the 360 waist, ball joint legs, 360 mid thigh, double joint knees, 360 top of the boot, ankle pivot and ankle rocker, and the twinkle toe feature. So pretty articulate, pretty basic 6-inch Marvel articulation as far as everything goes, except for the fingers. Each finger is only for a couple of them. Right offhand, I know the Black Panther has that ability. Usually, a lot of the Spider-Man, stuff like that. But overall, it's a great figure. If you don't have an Ultimate Captain America, I do suggest getting one. I'm a big Captain America fan, and not just Captain America, but a big Avenger fan. You can tell a big difference between this one, and I think this was the next one they made was the Ultimate Cap. I'm not 100%, but then the Series 1 here. Huge difference. I mean, as far as head sculpt, the body type, everything's a lot different. I mean, really the only thing that stayed the same was the shield, and there's even a little bit of a paint difference between the blues and it looks like a little darker blue and darker red he's on the old Series 1. But I mean, overall, a lot of people don't like the Series 1. I like Series 1, so But overall, I would suggest getting this figure. And if you, like I said, if you ever feel like you want to do a customization, I would leave it. From now on, I would. I mean, unless it's like touch-ups, I would probably leave it to the pros. But I mean, I don't think I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't do a good job. It's just it's a little harder than it looks. And like I said, I don't know all the the paints and what I should have used. Looking back, it probably would have just been easier to stay with the brown glove and then do whatever they did to the original. Like I said, it looks like they took a red Sharpie and colored the brown, which looked nice. And so I probably just should have did that first, but I'm very impatient, and I couldn't wait, so I just tried something on my own. Which, like I said, didn't turn out bad. It's just, I'll probably have to figure out a way in the future to, do something with this paint, some kind of, I don't know, paint sealer where it won't come off or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Anyways, this has been a Marvel Legends 1000 video review. Sign off. Y'all have a great night.